I see it exactly what I saw last night, and I stand by exactly what I said last night.
Any update?
No, just getting tests this morning, so we don't know yet. I don't know. I think we're waiting on those test results. Yeah.
With an afternoon game, you have a short turnaround anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty impossible for him to play tomorrow.
You know what? Honestly, Tom, I don't know until we get these test results back. So, or Tim.
Blackwell and Petrovic.
Yeah, you know what? I thought. I mean, regardless of the score, I thought our game was better than game one. You know, I did. I thought our 5-on-5 game was better than game one. Late in the second period, it's 1-0. I thought we had some chances through the first 40 minutes to tie it up at different points. The second goal, Rantanen blocks a shot right on their stick, ends up in the net. We had a few of those through the first 40 minutes that we didn't stick in the net. And then the third one was, quickly after that, they slung a puck from the wall and got tipped in. And then, at that point, 3-0, it's probably game over or close to it, despite our record in those situations. But, I think having rewatched it, there's some things there we can build on. I don't think, our game is good enough to be up 2-0. So we're probably where we belong, and we got to go on the road and win.
The analytics we see says you're getting more puck possession, more scoring chances.
Yeah.
Since Miro's been back, obviously.
Yeah. Isn't that shocking how that works? Yeah.
I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah.
But it really, so I guess the final question is it that much, and have you seen that, and are you optimistic about where this thing is going?
It is that much. It does make that big a difference. Now, if Roope Hintz is out, it's similar effect on our game. But we've got to find a way. We found a way the entire playoffs here. So, I saw some things we can build on last night. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, and I think, but there's some building blocks there. After game one, I didn't feel like there was many building blocks other than the power play.
So. You feel like you did a lot better job keeping McDavid and Draisaitl from flying around?
Yeah. I thought we did. I thought when the game got 2-3-0, I thought we had to open it up and crack the game open a little bit, and they took advantage of that. They got some looks at that point in the game, but up until that point, Tim, I thought we actually did a much better job in that area. Yeah.
With Harley and Heiskanen, they started the game on separate pairings. Back together situationally looked like they were offensive zone.
Yeah.
What do they bring on separate pairings, and what's the
Well, on separate pairings, I mean, listen, only one of them can carry the puck up the ice at a time. So, on separate pairings, it gives you two pair that actually have that element to them. We don't have a lot of transporters in our group back there other than those two guys. So, when you got them on different pairs, you've got a transporter on the ice, a lot of the night, which is important, I think.
Part of that waiting until Miro got healthy enough to where you knew that you could do that on his own pairing?
Yeah, I think that's a part of it. Part of it, was those two guys together are really good too. Part of it's situational when you're behind in a game, offensive zone starts, the things you're talking about. Yeah.
With how Edmonton likes to get in the zone and cycle, they seem to interchange seamlessly. How do you like defending in the zone when they do get possession?
I thought last night we defended in zone really well. I really did. They got stuff off the rush. They got the power play goal. I thought, like I said, there's some building blocks there in our 5-on-5 game, defending, and in some of the offensive stuff. It's still not enough, but there's some building blocks there for us to build on.
To defend their big guys on the road when you don't have the last.
Yeah.
Do you just have to like more combinations of guys to use against them?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to listen. We don't have the luxury of that matchup now for the next two games. So we've got to rely on our whole group. There's got to be a trust there with everybody that's out there, and that's not just on defensemen. That's on the forward groups too, to defend as a 5-man unit. But listen, we've done this before. We went on the road against Colorado and McDavid or McKinnon and that crew. and did that. We've done it on the road in Winnipeg against Scheifele in that group. So, you know, I'm confident our group understands how to win in those situations.
You had to use Mikko Rantanen in that top line in a lot of ways to balance out that top line of Edmonton.
Yeah.
Is there an advantage almost to a certain point with the not having the matchups you want, where they may try to match their top guys against other guys that might open him up, because he's been a little bit quiet?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Let's hope so. I don't know. I mean, we didn't chase any matchups here at home a lot, but we did put our best line against McDavid at home, and our best line in the series so far has been Roope Hintz's line. And I would love for one of those other lines to grab it where I feel comfortable, playing them against McDavid consistently. I think Wyatt Johnson's line, we tried, they got swamped a little bit. We've tried Duchesne's line a little bit. They got swamped a little bit. So those guys have to help us. There's nowhere to hide now going on the road.
Are you tired of Jim Dale getting nominated for
The more the better. You know what? I actually, Tim, it's a good question, because I'm happy. I'm happy he's finally getting acknowledged for a lifetime in the game. I know he's never won the award until 2 years ago when he won it. Right? Is that right? And you're talking 40 plus years in the game. And I think, everybody in the game, when I had heard he hadn't been nominated or won it before I got here 3 years ago, I was a little surprised based on his reputation and what he's done in the game. So I'm glad he's finally getting that acknowledgement.
I feel like it's a little bit of a team award, and he's got to get the team through the first two rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I know. I don't think my name should be in parentheses, but I think anytime you're, and he would tell you this, anytime there's an award given, it's always bigger than the person, and I'm sure on his end, there's a big contingent of scouts and assistant GMs and people that do a lot of behind the scenes work that you don't see in front of microphones like me.
What do you want to see from Jason Robertson? He's played about 8 games so far.
Yeah.
The time on the ice is still not what it was during
Yeah.
the regular season.
Yeah.
So waiting to see something great.
Yeah, he's got to, he's got to earn some more time on ice. You got to play better. That's the bottom line. Well, you're right. We're 8 games in, and he's not alone there, but give us a reason to play him more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a mindset. Obviously, off the ice, doing a lot of things with the training staff, strength and conditioning coaches, making sure that I'm ready physically from that standpoint, and then on the ice, kind of treating every single day as if my number is going to be called. You never know when, and then just staying sharp, kind of mentally. So even though I wasn't, whether it's warming up, just kind of watching film, doing things. So when I'm, like last game when I get put in there, there's nothing that's, I'm caught off guard or anything along those lines. Just staying sharp all the way across the board. And I think if you do that, I've done that a lot this year and been able to, be successful. So just try to stick with the same game plan.
This time of year, it's pretty intense, these games, but when you're out there and you get kind of that semi-breakaway look on a penalty kill, shorthanded chance, does it just kind of remind you about how much fun it is to play in these games?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is why somebody like me ends up wanting to come play on a team like this, just to get opportunities playing those games. We played in Game 7 so far this year, and big series last series against the President's Trophy team, and then another great matchup here. And these are the games that you want to play in at the end of the year, and it just makes the game and everything so much more fun. And from the start of the season, this is kind of where you want it to be and where you've been envisioning yourself the whole entire year. And the physicality, the fast pace, like really good chances like you're talking about. And, getting that opportunity to play in the PK in big minutes and big moments like this in games, it's really fun. And that's kind of what I'm, trying to take it day by day.
One more?
Pete likes to walk that line of risk versus, because he wants scoring, obviously. So how do you do that? Your speed is obviously a big help, but when you're out there, against McDavid or whoever, just seeing how do you walk that line of using your speed for offense versus, being consistent?
Yeah, I mean, I think every time him and Draisaitl are on the ice, you have to be cognizant of kind of where they are, and I think sometimes you don't want to be over aggressive because they got world class talent and skill and speed where they can they might be 200 feet away from the net, but you've seen a couple chances so far this series, so it's always staying above them and finishing your checks when you get a chance to, and then on top of that, for me, it's my game is forecheck, putting it behind the other team's D and trying to generate offense and some opportunity that way. And if I get a chance on the penalty kill, to take it, they have 4 forwards on the ice and 1 D. So you look at the numbers, you have a little bit better of a chance sometimes that way of being more aggressive. But overall, just being smart out there. I'm an older player where I know when and maybe when not to take some chances and just take whatever the opportunity gives you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I mean, playoffs games, like every mistake matters, and then you don't want to make mistake, but but it's probably behind their blue line, so you can have a risk and make some plays, try to do something with a back check attitude and go these on.
Games like last night when you have an injury to one of your top players with Roope, how do you respond to that? Both in the game, I'm sure it can be weird to respond, but in game 3 now, how do you kind of take the energy and maybe even frustration from that and use it in game 3?
I mean, that's hockey is big part, injury is big part of that sport. You never know what's gonna happen and to who happens. So I guess we just playing our game, so anything coaches make adjustments, we just do our job, just try to not focus and don't think about it, just go and play whatever you can do better.
You guys have not lost 2 in a row in the playoffs, and generally until that last stretch in the regular season, you've been a good response team. You've been on a lot of teams. Is there something about this group, this locker room, that you respond well to a loss?
Yeah, I mean that's a huge in playoffs. So so it's a best of 7, right? And then so you just need to win 4 games before the opponent wins. So I mean we've been good, and hopefully we stay that and just go game by game.
You guys scored more goals than Edmonton did during the season. Obviously, your team has been a high-scoring team for a while. But a lot of you, obviously, scoring is tougher in the playoffs. Is that something that you all talk about ways to maybe still chip in a few more goals, especially this time?
We didn't talk about it. We just, I don't know, just sometimes game dictate the, it's either keep low scoring or high scoring, if it's going well, so you can score a lot of goals, but yeah, at this point, it's not really matter. As long as winning is it doesn't matter. You win 1-0 or 6-0.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.